Now on the APEC VIP hotline, cutting-edge training for the serious athlete, apecgo.com. Joining us right now from John Tyler, the head football coach of the Lions, Ricklan Holmes. How you doing, Coach?
Doing good. Working my offensive line out.
You getting after him right now, huh?
Most definitely. We got to keep working to get better.
Well, I'll tell you what, I can't imagine you play much better than you did against Waxahachie. You beat them 77-20. Tell me about that ball game.
One of those games where once we got clicking on all cylinders, all special teams, all offense and defense, everything just worked in our favor. We were able to put the game out of hand.
Did you expect to be able to blow them out like that?
Well, I knew that we were going to be able to move the ball against them. We were going to be successful in the air with the secondary that they had and our skill guys. And then on the defense side of the ball, we just got to continue to keep playing like we did the first 10 games of the season.
Greg Ward had a great game again, 18 of 25, 361 yards, 4 scores, and he rushed for 78 yards. I mean, this guy just keeps outdoing himself, Coach.
Yeah, and the most important thing, he still has no interception.
That's amazing.
So
how is that even?
That lets you know that he knows what to do with the ball. He's protecting the ball, and he's making good decisions, getting the ball out.
Have you ever had a quarterback that never threw an interception the entire season?
No, and I've been around some pretty good quarterbacks, and I don't think I've never seen that accomplishment.
I mean, how do you explain that? Because, I mean, that's just – nobody does that.
Well, yeah, but that comes from, trying to rush and make things happen that you don't need to make happen. And he understands that, we have to be patient with our offense because the big plays are going to come. We just have to let them come when they come. And he's understanding that by the way he's delivering the ball, the way he's making decisions with the ball in his hands, and he's not forcing throws to receivers that they can't make.
Coach, that kid's got to play quarterback in college, doesn't he?
He has to. I mean, it goes back to that old saying, are you recruiting guys for their ability, or are you recruiting them because they're a winner? Some guys have that ability, but they don't have that winning mentality. And it just so happens Greg has both of them.
Well, he's a spectacular player and obviously a great quarterback. I got to ask you, too, about Fred Ross. I mean, everything he does, it doesn't surprise you, but 6 catches for 180 yards and a pair of touchdowns in the ball game. He's a beast, too. Yeah,
that's the reason why he's one of the most prolific receivers in the state of Texas right now. He has the size, he has the speed, he runs great routes, and he knows how to catch the ball, and he knows what to do with the ball in his hand once he dances.
He's a fabulous player, and your defense created 5 turnovers in the ball game. Interceptions by Terry Osborne and DeAndre Miller. Richard Gibson intercepted a pass. He recovered a fumble. I mean, the improvement in the defense from last year to this year has been phenomenal. Talk a little bit about how far your defense has come.
The reason behind the defense success it boils down to the defense coordinator, which is Barry Anderson. A long-time guy. He's won a state championship before. He's coached some great defenses. And it's just what he does. He makes it simple for the kids and to where they're not thinking as much as they're playing. And by them doing that, that's why they're able to make the plays that they're able to make on defense.
Your guys must feel like they can't be beaten.
Well, it goes back to the beginning of the season when I tell the guys, every team that we play, we're not trying to beat them. Yeah, we're trying to defeat them, but we're not trying to beat them because we have to beat ourselves first. We think that we're the best team in the state of Texas. And by having that mentality, you got to go out to beat the best team in the state of Texas, which just so happen we think that's us.
Okay, I hate to bring this up, but I have to ask you about the brawl in the third quarter against Waxahachie. Can you tell me what happened and how that's going to impact this ball game? Are you going to lose some players this week?
Well, it's going to be a punishment that's going to be set in place for the 2 players that got ejected from the game, but they will be able to play in the game this week. But after that punishment is completed. Okay,
so they're not going to be lost for the ball game, though?
No, not for the ball game.
Okay, what happened?
It was one of those deals where a lot of calls wasn't made during the course of the game. Kind of let the game get out of control. Kind of let the emotions get too high, and then with the hit that came on that sideline, and our kids trying to get away, their kids not letting them get away. Mm-hmm. We ended up having the situation that we had.
Well, I'm glad that those 2 kids are able to play at least some of the ball game on Friday night. Now, you play Wiley. They're 5-6. What do you know about them? Tell me about them.
They're probably one of the best 5 or 6 teams in the state of Texas right now. The games that they lost early, and that was due to some injuries that they had early in the season. they have those kids back, and as you can see, they're winning the football games that they need to win.
Tell me a little bit about what they do on offense and defense.
Offense, they spread the ball out. They run a lot of formations, kind of like White House. They like to throw the ball. They have the quarterback to do it. They have the receivers to get out there and make the catches defensively. They're very sound. They don't make a lot of mistakes, and they're great tacklers. Okay,
and I understand they beat John Tyler back in 2010 in the state finals. Is anybody from that ball club still there?
Yes, they do. They do have a couple of them, and because those guys were sophomores then, just like the guys that we had playing, like Greg and Fred and Darren Flowers. Those guys were sophomores in that game also. So they have some guys that's coming back from that same team. So I guess
with a situation like that, your kids can appreciate and respect this opponent because they know what can happen, right?
Exactly. And you can't take them lightly. Just like every team that we've played for the last 11 games, you can't take any team that we play lightly. They're going to give you their best game.
Well, and then how did the ball game end up being at Rose Stadium?
Well, because of the home flip that we did in 2010, they automatically had to come to our home stadium if we ever played them again in the playoffs. So that's how it ended up being at Rose Stadium.
So what does that mean for you having a playoff game at home at Rose Stadium? How much of an edge is that?
It's a huge edge for us because we're at home, holiday weekend. We don't have to travel, and just knowing that we have the opportunity to play a playoff game here at home, kind of like the '94 team when they played A&M Consolidated.
Well, history looks like it might repeat itself then, huh?
And that's what we're working on every day.
Coach, we do appreciate it. I know you're busy getting your team ready, but thanks very much for giving us a few minutes, and best of luck to you on Friday night, okay?
Hey, thank you. No problem. Have a great Thanksgiving.
Same to you, Coach. Thanks very much. Ricklan Holmes, the John Tyler head football coach on Bryan Houston Sports Radio Live on 99.3 Talk FM.